one and I stand on that. You and me, babe, that's black on black. Black on black. Black on black.
There's a trial. So remember the guy that put a person in a chokehold? I think he was having like a mental health breakdown
Penny.
on a sub. Yeah, Daniel Penny. They had his trial. It ended in a deadlock for his manslaughter trial today. Deliberations went into a fourth day today. The jury were not permitted to consider a second count, criminally negligent homicide, until it has reached a unanimous decision on the manslaughter count, which they could not. So the jury, I guess, is a hung jury. He pled not guilty to manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide. People are, and I can't tell you who, are lauding him as a hero for jumping into action and killing somebody. And yes, I'm sure the man was out of his mind. Anybody that takes the subway in New York, or you're in New York, period, it can be dicey. I'm not saying that, but the vigilante, Bernard Getz, I'm old enough to remember Bernard Getz on the subway, another person that was lauded as a hero for killing and shooting some boys on the subway who were acting out. We're supposed to be a nation of laws. I guess we're not. I feel like everything is up for grabs right now, and it doesn't give me comfort.
Yeah, and it's so weird too with our social media situation. And I guess for Bernie Getz too, even before you had social media, it just becomes a public debate. Like, it's not about the facts. It's just like who can have the best narrative. Correct. Like whose story is going to be stronger. The story of the vigilante who saved everyone on the train. And it's like, well, what about the people that were there that told them to stop? And the people that didn't feel they were in danger and stuff, like those people don't count. And then of course, the other story is innocent brother was just sitting there but he just ran up on him, like the truth is somewhere in the middle. The jury and the lawyers and stuff get more of the facts than we will get out here in the public. But I think it says something that is deadlocked and not he was innocent or guilty. Like it says that there's
there's
enough
more
conflicting
evidence,
information,
right,
that they could not reach a conclusion that alludes itself to either one of those narratives completely.
Well, we live in a society where a white couple can pull a gun on protesters and get pardoned by the president and go on and live their lives, where people can commit crimes and come out and make money, where the president's wife can go on TV and sell ornaments for Christmas. Like it feels like that shouldn't be able to happen, where a person can run for president and not show their taxes and their allegiances to other countries. Like it's right now, I feel like nothing is legit. There are no law,
and nobody can trust. You can't trust the outcome of our justice system in a country that has had this many injustices. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
It's not like whatever the conclusion was gonna be, it was gonna be controversial to some group of people. But it's that thing where people always use this online when you're like, this thing pissed me off, and they go, "Are you surprised?" No, I'm not surprised, but I'm still mad. Like, I can be upset and not be surprised. I don't need to be surprised to be like, this is unjust, or this didn't feel like justice to me. So yeah, it's not surprising, but it feels like maybe justice wasn't done here.
I don't even know how to comment, because if he's found guilty, there's a group of people like Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero. Like he killed people, though. He came into a place that he was uninvited as a child with a gun and gunned down a couple of protesters. And he got found not guilty in a court of law, right? George Zimmerman was found not guilty in a court of law. So it's really hard to live in this country with those things. And then the Justice Department DOJ found Memphis, the entire city, police department, guilty of discriminating against Black citizens and using excessive force. Right. So, and we know that this is true. New York, stop and frisk before this, but now we're going to have a new DOJ. Will they even do these kinds of investigations? Right. No. We will have willy-nilly ass police departments all over the country now because there's nobody to check them. Like this DOJ.
The person at the top of the ballot was telling them, go ahead and get you some. We just need one day of everybody just roughing up these black people, these brown people, these criminals, whatever. We just need one day where we have no consequences for what we do to these people. That is not the kind of person at the top that brings down control. That's not the kind of person that reins it in and says, hey, we got to be fair to the citizens. So they know that signal is all they need to hear to know, oh, the good old days are back. And that's all they wanted to do.
Right. So we need to be super careful. But, I think of the brother that called up from Tennessee. Memphis, I just did a whole breakdown of the demographics. Today's not the day that I'm going to do that because it's Friday. Right. But I feel like that town needs to be reclaimed. Memphis, which is right next door to Nashville, and Nashville is complicated for a host of other reasons. But Memphis, that's our city.
Yep.
And it should be not in a place where black people should feel unsafe. The police department should not have carte blanche over black bodies in Memphis, Tennessee. Not the home of Robert Church, Mary Church Terrell, not the home of Ida B. Wells, not the home of the People's Grocery Store. No. We have too much history there. And this is the town, Beale Street, that gave birth to Black Wall Street. No, that's our town. That's our town. And shame on you.
And let me tell you what's amazing is subliminally, we went from Daniel Penny to police. Because there is a connection in that. It doesn't really need to be said. But when we talking about what he did to this black person on a train, it didn't take us too many steps to get to and what the police been doing to us the whole time.
Well, that's the other thing. I think a lot of American, quote unquote, I'm putting up, these patriots want to be deputized to do exactly that, right? So that's why Daniel Penny is being upheld and Kyle Rittenhouse as a hero, because people they got their guns. They want to be able to use them. They want to be able to go out and
three people that were not police officers. George Zimmerman's not a police officer. Kyle Rittenhouse ain't a police officer. Daniel Penny isn't a police officer. But even though Rittenhouse ended up shooting 2 white dudes or whatever, the point is he went out there because there's a Black Lives Matter march, right? So there's this idea of we need to get the blackness in America under control by any means necessary. And not just that they did it, but you ain't even got to get hired to do it. It ain't got to be your job. You just become a hero to a certain type of American that's yes, that is who we need to defend. We need to make sure that they get sponsorship from coffee companies. We need to pay for their artwork that is trash, like they did with George Zimmerman for a while. And meanwhile, these people end up being some whack individuals. The stuff they do after this, it's not like they go out and cure cancer. They go out and do a bunch of other messed
horrible
up stuff.
Yeah. I mean, but this is where we are, though, right? To your point, I knew it was going to be a problem when the man that killed Mike Brown got $1 million in his GoFundMe.
Yep.
And the first $1 million they put, and they didn't even indict him. He had $1 million. So what? Basically, there's a bounty. Is there some sort of bounty?
What are you giving to? You know what I mean? I wanted to ask each individual that gave money to him. I wish I could sit down with them, look him in the eyes, and just go, "What are you giving to? What do you think you're giving this money to this man? What is the cause that you're giving? Because I know when I give money to stuff, I know what I'm giving to. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, it's a children's charity. They're gonna help kids get books. What are you giving to? You're just giving him money. He ain't even under indictment. He don't need this money. He wasn't making millions of dollars as a cop. They did a lot of times. They don't even cut off their pay. They might suspend him with pay, but it's not even like he's destitute. What are you giving to?